Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mariana with heavenandlimes.com. I make and sell homemade candles and I do other DIY projects on my channel here as well. Today I want to show you how I make strong scented candles. If you're interested in learning how to make strong scented candles with the formula and step-by-step instructions, then please keep on watching. So let's start off with these jars that I got from Luxy M. Luxy M, I discovered them first on Amazon about a year ago, and now they have a website, or they've been had a website, but I went on the website luxym.com and I found these beautiful frosted 10-ounce glass jars with these beautiful bamboo lids for a reasonable price. So you get like 6 of them for probably, I think I spent about, I don't know, 23 bucks. And the shipping was super fast. They have a lot of colors. They have white, they have greens, blues. I decided to pick this beautiful ruby red. I decided to select also this nice pink, and I also chose purple. I know that on camera it doesn't look purple, it looks blue, but I promise you that it is purple. So yeah, I wanted to show you how I make the strong scented candles using these gorgeous jars. And they were all around the same price. They're out of Canada, Ontario, I believe is the location, Ontario, Canada. And this comfortably holds about 8 ounces of wax. And I like to set these up with 2 CDN wicks. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do that step by step. You guys know how I love to put the formula right on the screen in a random place in the video. So stay on the lookout for that. But I just wanted you to see how beautiful these jars really are. I mean, the camera doesn't really do them justice. But when I take this one out, this one is purple. This is what I'm trying to, like, this is purple. I'm not even joking. I know. See, if you could look, like when I took the lid off, this lid is beautiful, by the way. It's nice and sturdy. It's solid. It's bamboo. It's really, really pretty. But if you can see right there, you can see that purple. But when I pulled off the plastic, it looks super blue. But anyway, that's up for debate. So I see purple. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and show you the next step, how I clean the jars and how I wick the jars and things like that. All right, so as usual, we're going to go ahead and take some measurements of the jar, of the diameter, the outer diameter and the inner diameter of this jar. So this one is about 3.5 inches at the mouth, and then from top to bottom is about 3.5 inches as well. So all the jars are going to measure the exact same thing. The bamboo lids also measure 3 inches. So again, 3.5 inches by length and 3.5 inches by height. All right, and then at the mouth as well. So pretty small, but not too small. It's a really nice size. 10 ounces is a really good size jar, and they're nice and sturdy. The colors are pretty. We're going to be using the strawberry pound cake from Midwest Fragrance Company for the ruby red jar. And then for the pink jar, we're going to be using the pink guava, also from Midwest Fragrance Company. And then for the purple jar, I'm going to keep telling you, it is purple. I know you see blue. Comment down below and let me know what color you see. Do you see purple or do you see blue? And then we're going to be using apples and maple bourbon. But I'm going to give you a disclaimer. I actually switched the fragrance oil for the blue one. Instead of using the apples and maple bourbon, I switched it to sweet pea from California Candle Supply. We're going to be needing CDN wicks, size 2, and we're going to double wick each jar. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to grab some disinfecting alcohol, and we're going to spray the alcohol right into the jar. And then we're going to grab a paper towel, and we're just going to clean out the inside of the jar as well as the outside of the jar. You want to make sure to get all of that dirt and debris off of the jar. You want to disinfect it, and you also want to make sure that when you do put your wicks, that it sticks really, really nice. That's also another reason why we're disinfecting it. So not only to keep it clean, but also to ensure that the wicks stick nice and properly. All right, so the second thing that we're gonna do is put your warning label on your jar. So these warning labels I got from Amazon, and I like them because they're waterproof and they are nice and big and bold, so your customers are going to be able to read them quite easily without any problems. All right, then the third thing we're going to do is we're going to adhere the wicks to the jar. So you're going to grab your wick stickers and you're going to go ahead and put them on the wick tabs, and you're going to stick them. I got this little tool that I'm using from Chris Bryant. He has a store on Etsy. His link is always in my description box below. Just look for his name, Chris, and he customizes these tools, so check him out. So make sure that you center the wicks as best as possible. I'm eyeballing this because my centering tools don't fit this 10-ounce jar, the 3.5-inch diameter. So I'm just eyeballing it. I've been doing it for a while now, so I kind of have an idea of where the wicks should land. And they should look something like this. Repeat this step with the other 2 jars as well. All right, so this is what your jars wicked should look like. This is the middle of my jar. So as you can see that the wicks are not touching each other and they're not too close to the edge of the jar. The next thing we're going to do is grab these wick centering tools. Again, I got these from Brian's shop on Etsy. Link is in the description. And these are custom as well. So all I'm going to do is just put the wicks through the little holes, and I'm just going to twist the top so that way I can secure my wicks and make sure that they're nice and sturdy and tight, so that when I pour my wax, they don't wiggle around everywhere. Now that our wicks are nice and centered, let's go ahead and measure out in grams our fragrance oils. So depending on the oil that you're using, oils have different densities. So some oils are thicker than others. I'm choosing to do 20 grams per jar, so 20 grams in each jar for my specific wax that I'm using, which is California Supplies Soy 10. And I feel comfortable doing 20 grams because the wax holds up to 18% of fragrance load. Make sure to check the labels in your fragrance oils and make sure to check the labels from your wax so that you can get a better idea of how much oil you should be putting into your wax. But for this specific wax, Soy 10, that holds this high content of fragrance load, I feel comfortable using the 20 grams, which is going to give me a nice, strong candle, especially after you cure your candle for 14 days at least. So let it sit for 14 days before you light it, and it should be nice and strong. The oil that I'm using, again, they're from Midwest Fragrance Company. Their link is in the description. And then the wax is from California Candle Supply. I'm going to heat it up to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm not going to go up any higher than that because if I do keep it under 200, you don't want to go ahead and scorch the wax. So make sure to keep it under 200. I'm heating mine up to 180. Once I check my temperature and my wax is at about 170 degrees, 165, 170, I'm going to go ahead and pour in my 20 grams of fragrance oil, and then I'm going to stir it for about 30 seconds before I pour it into my first jar. All right, so for the second jar, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna pour out 205 grams of wax, and we're gonna add our 20 grams of fragrance oil, and we're gonna stir it for about 30 to 40 seconds. A nice gentle stirs right before you pour it right in. Remember to keep the wax under 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And remember to add the fragrance oil when your wax hits a temperature of 165 to 170 more or less. And yeah, just stir it up nice and gently and then pour it in, not too fast and not too slow. So I'll give you a little bit of an update on my website. So I decided that I wanted to remodel the website for 2022, and little did I know that that was going to be such a headache. Had I known the headache this was going to cause me, I would have definitely not go ahead and do that. But I did it because I just wanted to change the look. I wanted to give it my little touch. And in the midst of doing that, I needed to verify my account with the bank. And I'm just having some issues with my bank and all of that. So while all of the paperwork is processing, if you log on to heavenandlimes.com, it's not going to show that I even exist. But that's okay. The website will be up and running. It literally feels like I'm starting from scratch. But you know what? I'm not in a rush and I'm not in a hurry. I'm definitely going to take my time. I mean, January started off with a bang. I mean, literally. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Hopefully, I am thinking that safely I should be open by mid-February to early March. That's my goal. I kind of wanted to open up before Valentine's Day, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I will have Valentine's Day candles on my website at a ridiculously low price, just so that way you guys could have the scents if you want them to. But yeah, that's my little update. I'm sticking to Wicks. In the beginning, I was very upset. I was just like, you verified my account the first time. Why do I have to do it the second time and the third time? But anyway, after you get into the groove of it and you start understanding it, I mean, I've only been in business for about a year. But after you get into the midst of it, then it just starts making sense in the long run. But it's all for safety verification. So that way, there's no fraudulent activities. So all right, so we are nice and solidified. I absolutely adore how these candles came out. One of the main reasons why I like to use the Soy 10 is because the tops always come out smooth. They always come out perfect, and I really, really have to use my heat gun to smooth out the tops. So if you guys are new to candle making and you're trying to decide which wax, I like the Soy 10 not only because of the smooth tops, but I also like it because it holds a lot of fragrance oil, 18% to be exact. But if you can't find the Soy 10 at the California Candle Supply, try finding it at Swan's Candles. I'll leave a link in the description. I believe they're out of Washington. If not, my second option, one of my favorite waxes to use, one of the first ones I started using was the virgin coconut soy wax from the Wooden Wick. So the good thing about the Wooden Wick is that you can also, if there's a Michaels around your area, the Wooden Wick has partnered with Michaels and they have a lot of their products at Michaels as well. So fragrance oils, wooden wicks, vessels, and wax. So check out your local Michaels, and you could use a coupon as well. So sometimes you have 20% off a product, so you could use it and you don't have to wait. Depending on where you're at in the United States, you don't have to wait for the shipping to be forever. For example, I'm in the East Coast and the Wooden Wick is in the West Coast, so it does take maybe about 3 weeks for me to get my supplies when I could just go to Michael's, use a 20% off coupon, and get my wax. But I'm going to use my embroidery scissors here to trim off these wicks. Again, I'm using the CDN2s, but these jars that are 10 ounces, again, they hold up to 8 ounces comfortably. If you don't find CDN2 wicks, then you can also use the Eco 1 wicks, and you can also use Eco 2 wicks as well. Again, I double wick them, so you want to double wick them as well. And then just trim them off and just let these beauties solidify for about 2 weeks. That's the secret of getting strong candles. 2 weeks. Now, with this wax, you really truly do not have to let it solidify for 2 weeks to get that strong scent that you're looking for. 4 days is good, but 2 weeks is better. I promise you. You could even put it to the test. Since there's 3 candles here, put it to the test. You could use the first candle and then like light it up the next day, the first one, to see what you get. The second candle, light it up in about 4 to 5 days and see what you get. And then the third candle, light it up in 2 weeks and see the difference, you know. So that's my little tip. So even though I was wearing gloves throughout the process of my candle making, the outside of the jar gets, you know, oil, or it gets wax on it, you know. So, you know, you're working. So what you want to do, what I like to do, is just get some alcohol, and then I like to spray the outside again. Then I like to grab my paper towel, and I just like to clean out the outside of the jar, just because you don't want all of that oil to show. You don't want it to look dirty. You don't want it to look, you know, untidy. And also you want your labels to stick really nice, because remember, if you're handling it with oil and wax, when you try to stick your label, is not going to do such a really nice job. And depending on the label, like my labels are not waterproof. Mine's are just paper. And if they get wet, they're going to be all smudged. They're going to look ugly. But that's just another tip. Make sure that you just wipe it down on the outside, so that way it can look nice and presentable. All right, so now for the fun part, adding your labels. Now, I made my labels using my Cricut maker and using Canva. So I just went on Canva and I just designed a very, very simple label with my company name on top, the candle name that I wanted to give it, and the grams and the ounces. That's it. And then I just put it through the Cricut, and the Cricut cut it at 2.5 by 2.5 inches for these jars. So you could do them even if you want to at 2.2, but I like the 2.5 because it's not too big and it's not too small. So this one says Happy Valentine's Day. The pink one said Always and Forever. And this red one says Love You. And I just thought it was appropriate and cute for Valentine's Day. If you don't have a Cricut maker, you could also do it with the Silhouette. I believe is another cutting machine. If you have that, you could do it with that. If not, if you go on Canva, you could design it, and then you can, I think you could pay for it. I think there's an option where they can actually print them out for you, or you can go on other websites to get them custom made if you like. But I like to use my Cricut at home because it's just a little easier and more convenient, and I could just have it on the spot. So here what I like to do is lay the jar on its back, and I like to align my label as neatly as possible with the 2 wicks kind of facing the label, so that way it could look nice and even. And this is what they look like. I think they turned out super, super cute. They look very minimalistic, and the aesthetic is super pleasing. I absolutely love how these turned out, and they smell really nice, even though I can't smell that good because of COVID. But I'm slowly getting my sense of smell back and my taste back. So this morning, actually, I made a cup of coffee, and when it was brewing, I actually got like a whiff of it, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I could smell a little bit, you know. So I know that my sense of smell is coming back slowly, but yeah, that's, you know, one of the side effects of getting COVID. Some people, you know, they go through that where they don't smell, they don't taste. Some people, you know, it goes away quick. Some people, it stays forever, it seems like. But hopefully, you know, it should go away and I should be back to myself. I know I sound a little nasally and congested, so I still have a dry cough and all of that. But this is what the Always and Forever looks like, the pink one. I think it came out super, super cute as well. I tried to match up the colors of the names of the candle to the jar. So, of course, I did pink lettering for the pink jar, purple lettering for the purple jar, and for the Love You jar, I chose red. So, if you guys are following me over on Instagram, you'll notice that I'm uploading a lot of photos, and I'm keeping these photos because I actually love them. Another reason why I took down a lot of my pictures from Instagram, not only because I just wasn't feeling them, but it was because there was like a lot of people liking my photos that I didn't know who they were. You know, I'm like, I have no idea who all of these people, there's like, it was just weird. You know, it wasn't like anybody that, you know, I knew, not personally, but on a business level as well. So I found it odd, and I just didn't want to get hacked or anything. So I just erased everything. But I'm loving how my photos are turning out on Instagram. I, you know, decided not to use my replica surfaces for the photos. I'm using them actually in this video just to kind of like show you. So that's pretty much what I probably will be doing with the replica surfaces. I'll just use them to film. But as far as taking the actual shots for the website and stuff, it's going to kind of look like what you see on my Instagram. So go ahead and check it out and let me know what you guys think. But this is what my candles look like, and I love them. I think they came out so pretty. So here are the candles at a different angle, and I just want to show you what they look like, and I'm just gonna pop on the bamboo lid so that you can see what they look like with the lids on. And they look so cute. Also, like I said earlier in the video, these jars, the 10 ounces, you could find them in black on Amazon, I believe. Luxiem. So check out the description for that information. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until my next video. Peace.